Standing Tadasana. Open up the chest. Let's do some yoga. Draw the kneecaps up, draw the thighs up, grip the outer hips in. Take the shoulder blades deep into the back. Utthita Parshvakonasana, sideways stretch, legs wide. Turn the left toes well in. Turn the whole of the right leg out to 90 degrees. Contract the kneecap. Exhale, bend the leg. Place the hand down, come to the fingertips. Bring the arm up and over the head. Create space across the trunk. Feel the evenness on the left and the right side of the body. If you need your brick, you need to grab it. So come up, grab it. Otherwise, stay here beyond the fingertips. Lift through the chest, lengthen the spine. Inhale, come up. Bring the feet to face forwards. Turn your right toes well in. Turn the whole of the left leg out. Exhale, bend the leg down to right angle. Fingertips to the floor. Sides of the waist long. Arm up and over the head again. Turn through the ribs. Open up the chest and press the bent knee into the arm. Feel the nice length through both sides of the body. Inhale, come up. Bring the feet to face forward. Stretch out through the arms. Lift up through the chest. Legs together. Stand tall. Same pose, Utthita Parshvakonasana. Legs wide. Left foot well in. Whole of the right leg out. Bend through the legs. Sit deep in the pose. Back leg firm. If you can bring the flat of the hand down, do so. And then turn those ribs back. Look up towards the sky from underneath the arm. Rotate that body more and more. Press the bent knee into the arm. Legs super firm. Really feel like that straight leg is charged. Press, pound, pressurize the heel of that left foot. Whatever word, stamp even. Inhale, come up. Whatever word means that you're putting that much power through it. Open up the chest. Turn the right toes well in. Turn the whole of the left leg out. Let's take the weight back into that right foot right now. Look at it and press into the heel with those laser eyes. Right, now my heel, now you have to keep that pressure there. Exhale, bend the knee. My ear is still looking there. Place the hand down, be on the flat of the hand, bring the arm up and over the head. Now really pressurize that straight leg and then turn those ribs. Look up towards the sky. I mean the ceiling if you're inside. Breathe. Extend through to the fingertips. Press the bent knee back more and more. You'll feel your buttocks start to move forwards as you press that bent knee back. Press the straight leg thigh back. Still feel the pressure in the heel of the straight leg. And then inhale, come up. Bring the feet to face forwards. Breathe in, open up the chest. Bend the knees, inhale. Jump the legs together, stand tall. Virabhadrasana 2, legs wide. Both sides of the trunk are long. Left foot in, right leg out. Back leg firm. Bend the leg. Open up both sides of the trunk. Turn the head, look along the right arm. Looking or being aware of that back arm. Extend out through the fingers. Down into the pose. Down into the pose. Watch your knees. Lift the toes if that front knee is troubling you. Come up if it's troubling you too much. Inhale, come up. Bring the feet to face forwards. Stretch out the shoulders. From the sternum to the thumbs. From the back chest through to the baby fingers. Turn the right toes in a little. Turn the whole of the left leg out to 90 degrees. Exhale, sit deep in the pose. Make the back leg as straight as it can be. Stretch through the arms as much as you can. Turn the head, look along the left arm. Power through the heel on that back leg again. Open up the chest. Breathe. Back leg firm. Tailbone down. Both sides of the trunk along. Inhale, come up. Bring the feet to face forwards. Stretch out. Bend the knees. Jump the legs together. Lift the chest. Bring the breath right up into the chest. Again, Virabhadrasana 2, legs wide. Open up the chest. Left foot well in. Whole of the right leg out. As you bend the front leg, power through into that heel on the back leg. Sit deep, sit deep, sit deep. Turn the head, look along the arm. Extend out to that back arm as much as you can. Take some good breaths up into the chest. Keep the legs nice and strong. Check that the knee is directly over the ankle. Inhale, come up. Bring the feet to face forwards. Extend out. Power down through the heels. Feel how the hips grip in. Turn the right toes well in. Turn the whole of the left leg out. Exhale, bend the knee. Down into the pose. Pull back with that back arm. Stretch forwards with that front arm. It's like you're being pulled in two directions. Do I want to go forwards or want to go back? No, I'm staying in the middle. My spine is long. My tailbone's down. The back of the neck is long, and I'm feeling strong. And I'm feeling strong. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Okay, it's not the words, but it works. I was singing it in the shower this morning. Extend out, lift the heart. Inhale, come up. Bring the feet to face forwards. Open up the chest. Bring the hands in, legs together. Stand tall. Prasarita Padottanasana. Legs are wide. Hands are coming down below the shoulders or further back in line with the feet if you can. Legs wide. Bring the hands onto your waist. And you want to look up. So Gita would call this area here the eyes of the chest. So you're going to look up with the eyes of the chest and then let the head follow suit. And then exhale, fold forwards, hands come to the floor. If you can bring them back in line with your feet, there's the challenge. But can you get the chest to lift at the same time? If the answer is no, bring the hands slightly further forwards. If the answer is oui, oh yes, bring the hands slightly further back. Okay, that's about the extent of my French. Kneecaps lifted. Extend and lengthen. Breathe. Feel the space in the abdomen. Feel how that is. Then exhale, take the head down towards the floor. Now, if your head is down on the floor, you can see whether you can bring the head back in line with the hands if you want to work a little deeper in the pose. If, however, that's too much, head to the floor. If your head doesn't reach the floor, take your blanket, which just happened to be within grabbing distance for me. Come out of the pose if you need to grab your props. And pop your head down on the blanket. If, however, that's not enough height, you come out of the pose, look. And then you take your foam pads and you pop your head there. And you keep, you can see your kneecaps here, don't let them droop. Keep thinking, draw them up, draw them up. Shoulders away from the ears, back of the neck long. Oh, that feels really nice. I feel like I'm having a holiday here. Inhale, look forwards, extend. If you've got props, extend yourself right forwards. Okay, at this point, you know whether you feel strong in your legs. If it's your first time, heel and toe the feet in towards each other till you feel you can come to a space where you can bend the knees and stand up, stretch the arms down. Okay, so you want the spine always to feel like it's extending when you go to stand up, not that you're kind of compressing through the spine at all. Okay. Prasarita Padottanasana one more time. So stretch the arms down, bring the feet together, lift up through the chest. We know the pose. Legs wide. Hands to the hips and pressurize down through the rim of the pelvis. Gives your legs something to kind of push back against. Take the tailbone down a little bit so that you have the perineum facing the floor. And then inhale, lift the chest and look up. Coiling from the hips, exhale, fold forwards. Hands come down. Inhale, look forwards, extend. Kneecaps lifted. Exhale, head down. Abdomen broad. Legs strong. Lift up from the front portion of the heel, or where the back of the arch meets the heel. Lift that area up whilst keeping the toes strong. Keep drawing those kneecaps up into the hips. Back of the neck nice and long. Breathe. Relax the eyes, release the tongue, move the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, look forwards. Those of you that can, bring your hands to your waist. Press down into the mounds of the big toes. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Inhale, stand up. Alright, this is more tricky, so you might want to heel and toe your feet in towards each other. Otherwise, bring the hands in, bend the knees, jump the legs together, lift the chest. Stretch down through the arms. Breath smooth. We've got Ardha Prasarita Padasana next. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do it. To begin with, the nicest way to do it is just to bend up the legs. And you've got your wooden brick here, so nice handy wooden brick and a belt. Okay, and maybe a blanket, depending on your hamstrings. That's it, I think. Okay, so you lie down. And the first thing that you can do is you can find out whether your legs happily come to 90 degrees. So lengthen the spine. As you lie down, make sure that you've made as much length through the spine as possible. So if you need to adjust yourself again. Okay, hold on to the mat, roll the shoulders under just a little, bend the knees over your chest, the thighs roll in towards each other, and then you lengthen up through the legs. So you've got a long stretch through the legs there. And then bend the knees and release down towards the floor. Okay? Now to get an encouragement for the legs, take a brick. Put it between your thighs, so it's this way, and it's going between the thighs. And you want to think, can I roll my thighs now from the outer thigh towards the inner thigh? You don't want to over roll them at the knees start to roll in, so the knees just become square. It prevents the feet from turning out. Alright? So bend the knees over the chest, extend up through the legs, grip that brick nice and strongly, really squeeze it there, abdomen soft, holding onto the mat, spine feels long, lengthening to the toes, lengthening the heels as well. You want to feel the opening up the backs of the knees, rolling those thighs in, breathe. And the abdomen is quite quiet, so we're not trying to hold it from the belly. And then bend the knees. Now if your hamstrings are struggling, take that one out. Take your blanket or your foam pad and just put it underneath your bottom. And see whether that gives you enough height to allow the hamstrings to come up. Okay? So we'll do one more with the brick. Roll the thighs in, grip the legs together. Feel and look how the knees have become square. So you've got four corners of the knees. Make sure that they're facing forwards, not going off to the sides. If you wish to take the arms up and over the head, do so, but make sure that they're long. Imagine that your feet now start at your fingers and your fingers start at your feet. So the legs go all the way through your body, right up through the arms, so there's a parallel sensation there. And the arms go all the way down to the legs. And then bend the legs and cuddle the knees in close. Okay, say now you want to have a little bit of a rest, or maybe your legs are tired. You can take a belt. Or maybe your legs are a bit weak. Still take a belt. Untangle it. Have a wrestle with your belt. And then what you're going to do is make a wide loop. Bend the knees over the chest. Put the belt around the heels. Okay, and then just stretch the legs up. Ah, there you go. There's a holiday for the legs now. Abdomen soft. You're just using the belt there to support the heels. You shouldn't be pulling too much. It's just a little bit of support. Now tighten the legs. So that say I wanted to let go of the belt, I could. And then with that, you can just take one leg out, keep this leg being supported, and make this one match it. I really enjoy doing it this way. And then release, pop the foot back in the belt. You'll feel more of a connection here through the outer thigh. And then change to the other side. Legs are up in the air, chest is open, abdomen soft. And then release, both legs in the belt. And then see if you can get that same action, either holding the belt or letting go of the belt. And then bend the knees in. Take a rest. Okay, now if your lower back isn't used to doing these movements, or you're a complete newbie, then please, you're going to bend the knees, you're going to stretch the arms if your shoulders allow, otherwise you're going to hold the mat, okay? So ideally we stretch the arms, but not if your arms are kind of hanging around up here, or that it hurts the shoulders. I think in Light on Yoga, BKS Iyengar says to hold a heavy piece of furniture. So if you imagine you've got a sofa and you've hooked your fingers underneath the sofa, then that would work, okay? As long as there's no pain in the shoulders. Make sure the sofa isn't going to fall over on you, so nothing too light. Okay, so we've stretched the arms, the legs have come up, unfurl the legs to 90 degrees, see how that feels. 90 degrees is further away than you think it is. I always pull my legs to here and then I'm always told to bring them back again. There's ankles over the hips, ankle bones over the heads of the femurs. And then bend the knees in and pop the feet down. Okay? So you've got that, and then we can try one leg then the other. So you can bend one knee in towards the chest, stretch the leg up, see how that feels, bend the leg, bring it back down. Second side, bend the knee in towards the chest, stretch the leg up, release the leg, bend it down. Very simple, and you know whether that was easy or not. Okay, so the next pose, we're going to do it again with a bent leg. Extend up through the arms, lift up through the chest. You bring the leg with an exhale, keeping the kneecap nice and tight, to 60 degrees. Extend through into the toes. And then to 90 degrees. Keep that length there. And then with an exhalation, lower the leg down. And then release the leg. Now we'll try the other side. Extend through the left leg. Stretch up to the fingers, or holding onto that mat strongly. Roll the shoulders back if you're holding the mat, and lengthen the arms. Lengthen the trunk. Leg to 60 degrees approximately. And again, I think it's 15 to 20 seconds in Light on Yoga, but you're aiming towards that, and then you bring the leg up for between 30 seconds to a minute. It's like a little cookery program. How to cook your body in asana. Open up the legs. And then exhale, lower the legs down. And you know how you feel with that. So you can do that again, once either side, or you can have a go at the full pose. So if this is the first time you've seen the full pose, just watch the first time, and then we can do it together the second time. Okay? So from here, yeah, my arms are already over my head, but let's start from the beginning. So we're lying down, tighten the legs. Take a couple of breaths and lengthen the spine. Squeeze the knees, so the knees are tightening around the kneecaps, the thighs are gripping in, the arms are pressurized, the shoulder blades are deep into the back, chest is open. Exhale, raise the arms over the head. Take 2 breaths here. And with an exhale, swing the legs to 60 degrees. Hold, lengthening from the hips right through to the toes. If you need to bend the legs and pop them back down on the floor, do so. Or immediately swing them up to 90 degrees. Hold. Tighten the kneecaps. Extend through the fingers. Lengthen the arms. Relax the eyes, release the tongue, back of the neck soft. Don't grit the teeth, is that the right? Don't grip the teeth. Put that gripping action into the legs. I have no idea how long we've been here now. Probably coming up to 45 seconds or maybe a minute. We'll try a little bit longer. Hold, as long as it's okay in the back. And then with an exhale, lower the legs all the way down. Stretch through. Lower the arms down. Take a rest. Okay? Grip, so you're rolling the thighs in, tightening the kneecaps, extending through into the inner edges of the big toes. Take the arms over the head. Bring the legs up with an exhalation. So take 2 breaths. And then with an exhalation, legs to 60 degrees. Hold. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi, 16 Mississippi, 17 Mississippi, 18 Mississippi, 19 Mississippi, 20 Mississippi. Then bring the legs to 90 degrees. I'm not going to count all the way to 60 because I always lose count about 27. Stretch the arms, lift up through the legs, breathe. Extend through the fingers, relax the eyes, release the tongue. Long, 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 long legs. Long arms, breath smooth, all those things. Check that the legs are going straight up, that they're not drifting off to the left or to the right. That the left leg is pressing into the right leg and the right leg is pressing into the left leg, and you're drawing the groins right down into the pelvis. Abdomen soft, lower back isn't challenged or charged. The legs are doing the work here. I have no idea again. Okay, I think that's coming up to about a minute. So with an exhalation all the way down, release the arms and relax. Take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, bend up the legs. Roll onto your side. And sit yourself. Okay? Do a quick dog head down for me. So just stretch yourself back. Work the legs. Work the arms. Breath smooth and even. And then exhale, come down and sit on your bottoms. So you can stretch back. A little bit more length there, should feel very nice. And then you can come up to sitting. We've got Navasana next. Everybody's favourite, actually Maxine's favourite. She's one of the few people, she seems to really love this pose. We're going to start by just first of all balancing, okay? So with the legs like this, in a nice triangular shape, legs at 90 degrees, stretch the arms, lean back, okay? So you don't want to put any pressure on the lower back, you want the spine to feel like it's lengthening the whole time. And then release. Okay, put your fingertips either side of the hips, lean back again, stretch one leg up 90 degrees, and then release. Stretch the second leg up 90 degrees, and then release. Okay, see how that feels. You'll feel the action through the legs. Okay, and you can pause, you can practice this. You can just stop me for a moment, you can have a few more goes. Don't do it too quickly. So you want to feel that action, and then again, second side, feel that action, okay, and then see whether you can take both legs up. Okay, if you've got a particularly bony bottom, you might want to be on a height, and then release the legs down and sit back up and see how you feel. So you've got to, the whole time you have to come back and think, okay, that was good. Am I ready for the next one? And if that's the case, rock back, raise the legs up, lift up through the chest and stretch the arms. Breathe, legs strong, legs as powerful as they can possibly be. And then exhale, release, stretch the legs forwards. Okay? If you want, you can take a belt. This is really nice if you get the balance right. If you get the balance not right, then you end up wobbling all over the place and becoming frustrated. So please don't do that. The belt is around my shoulders. And it comes around the feet. And you want quite a long belt. So you've got one of the smaller belts, it may not work. If you've got quite a long belt, you can then lean back. And this is really how I'd like my boat pose to look. A bit more like this. Toes are long. Feet are spread, kneecaps are lifted, arms are nice and long and straight. Really feel that you're trying to, don't just lean into the belt, but try and pull yourself up and away from the belt. Extending the arms as much as you possibly can. Legs long, legs connected, arms extended, and then with an exhalation, release the legs and come back down. So you can do it that way. Try one more. Rock back. You can hold the legs. So you're holding behind the backs of the knees. You can open the chest. Raise the legs up. Legs forwards. Arms like swords. Breathe. Legs strong. Okay, so you're really trying to keep the legs working as much as you possibly can. And then exhale, release. Take a rest. The next one's slightly more rounded. It's ardha Navasana. I was making the joke that was the easy Navasana, but I don't think so. I find them equally challenging. And this is the harder Navasana, but it's actually Adha, A-D-H-A. So the first one's Padapurna, second one Ardha, means half boat pose, so it's a little bit lower there. Alright, so here I like to roll back and raise the legs up, so you can see it's a much lower boat now, and then the hands come behind the head, and you hold, and the legs are firm, and then you exhale, release, and you take some breaths. Now, how do you do this if you can't get your head around doing it? You lean back and you've got a nice little boat shape here. Yes? You can take one leg and stretch it away. So it's exactly the same as the last pose. Second leg, stretch it away. Now if you just lift the leg like this, you've really got to think, can I make this work? Can I extend right through to the big toes? Can I hold it there? And then the same on the first side. We've got the arms for support. You're checking that everything feels comfortable. And then the second side. And then you could maybe try both, and hold, and breathe, and then release. And if you're finding that all too easy, just whip your hands around the back of your head again. Okay, so one more time. Legs, hands behind the back of the head, legs strong, kneecaps facing the sky or the ceiling, going straight up, breathe, and then exhale, release. Done, absolutely done. So the next pose, you've got a Supta Padangusthasana 1 and 2. So you're going to need 2 foam pads because they're going to come either side of the hips, all right, and a belt, okay? So you lie down like that. I'm hoping that I'm still in shot. I think I am. If not, I'll have no head. It's not a problem. So we'll start with Supta Padangusthasana 1. Now this, you want to feel that both sides of the waist are long. Put the belt around the foot and have it on the heel. And then stretch the leg up and breathe so that you feel that the sides of the waist are lengthening, that it's a good whole breath, and the lower back is feeling nice and broad. What more to say? Hips level, lower leg nice and firm, and start to open up the back of the knee. So if you take one hand and just place it on the back of the knee and just press the knee and then just stroke the calf up towards the heel just to encourage that to happen just a little bit more if you can reach. Pressing that thigh back. Okay, now hold the belt.
And just make sure that the leg that you're going to take to the side, that block is right in close to the hip. Okay? So now you hold the belt. So I've got my left leg in the air, so I'm holding the belt with my left hand. The right hand is coming out to the side, and then with an exhale, the leg comes out to the side. It's nice and straight. The lower leg is extended away. You can either keep the arms straight if you feel like you've got control, or if you feel like you need a little bit of extra support, just slide the hand back towards you, place the elbow on the floor, and open up the chest. Legs nice and strong, and be aware of the inner leg groin, so you're lengthening there. Stretch out the arm that's not holding the foot, so really extend from the chest right out to the fingertips there. Legs strong, lower leg nice and strong. Then with an inhale, you can bend the leg and bring it back in. So say you feel like you've peaked, you can just bend the leg to bring it back in. Or you can raise the leg up straight, pushing that foot into the belt. And then just hold the belt and do Supta Padangusthasana just one more time. This is Supta Padangusthasana 1. Okay, this is the best bit now, okay? Just back off on the belt a little bit, lower the leg down straight, and compare now the left and the right side. This left side should feel super long here, so keep that action. How's Lanyon? Okay, and then change legs. So the right leg is coming into the belt. For me, it could be your left leg. Okay, legs together, and then raise that leg up straight, feeling that you're actually moving the top of the thigh away from the waist. So where the thigh, the root of the thigh meets the hip, you're trying to slide that area away from the waist. That will give you a different action, and that will keep the hips nice and level. Legs strong, kneecaps open. Oh, and you just breathe here. Spreading out through the toes. It's a hive of industry around here. Legs firm. Busy bees, lots of busy bees. Opening up the back of the knee. Relax the eyes, release the tongue. Should feel delightful. It should feel really super nice. Okay, so I've got my right leg in the air. So I need to look down and just check that my foam pad is right in against the hip of my right leg. So it's giving the hip some support there. Now I'm going to hold the belt with my right hand as close to the foot as possible. Stretch my left arm out, so it's the arm that's not with the leg that's in the air. And then with an exhale, let the leg come out to the side while stretching away the other arm. And again, if the arm is happy being straight, keep it straight, keep the leg strong. But if, however, you feel like you need to give your leg a little bit more support, brace the make a fist with the hand and brace the wrist, and then bend the elbow and press the elbow into the floor. So you're giving the leg just a little bit of support there with the arm work. Keep both sides of the back waist long. So that raised leg as it goes out to the side, make sure that you're not shortening around the buttock or around the lower waist, so you're not pinching that area of the lower back. Extend through to the fingers, legs nice and strong. Be firm in those legs. Relax the eyes and release the tongue. And then with an inhalation, either bend that leg and bring it back to center, or push the foot into the belt and raise the leg back up again. And then again, hold the belt with two hands. Draw the foot towards you just a little more. Give it a little bit more of a stretch. Make sure that it feels very comfortable, and then with minimum support on the belt, and even let the belt go if you feel like you can, lower the leg down. Rest your hands either side of the bricks and take a few moments here to feel your nice new long body. Release and relax the eyes. Release and relax the tongue. And feel the space between the poses. Now, if you want to do it again, you are very welcome to do the pose again. Okay? Alternatively, we can move on. So you can just Bend up the legs. Remove the belt, put it to one side. Bend up the legs. Roll over. And then carefully sit yourself up. Okay, come to cross legs just for a moment and sit tall. We've got Bharavajasana next. So you're going to sit on a foam pad because it's nice and easy. If you haven't got a foam pad, then a blanket will do. So bring your legs forwards, sit yourself up on a foam pad, and we're going to take the knees around. Hang on, I've just got to think about this because I'm mirroring you now. So they're going to come around to my left. So they're coming around to your right. No, sorry. They're coming around to my right, moving to your left. Knees come directly forwards. Yeah, make sure that this is comfortable. If you feel like you're really falling that side, grab your blanket and just pop your blanket underneath that buttock. But then when we go to the other side, you need to change the blanket to the other side. Okay? Sit tall, nice and broad in the abdomen, and then bring your right hand behind you. Bring your left hand on the outside edge of the right knee. Lift the chest and turn. Keep the spine ascending, so you're not leaning forwards, you're not leaning back. Turn the body around the spine, and then look over your right shoulder. Come back to centre with the head, and then change to the other side. So legs forwards. You're going to bring your left leg around by your right hip, and then you bend back your right leg and place the ankle on top of the arch of the other leg. Knees coming directly forwards, buttocks sitting as level as possible, and then sit tall. Bring your left hand around. You can use your brick if your arms feel like they're too short. Put the brick behind you to press down onto. Left hand, right hand, outside edge, left knee. Lift and widen the collarbones. And then again, turn the body around the spine. Look over your left shoulder. And come back to centre, turning the head. And then release the legs, stretch them forwards. Let's do the first side again. So you're going to whip the legs around to the left. And you're going to turn to the right. Okay, so take the right hand behind, stretch your left arm up. Sit down into your left hip, but don't lean back into it. And then pop the hand down, widen the collarbones. If you want to try and bind, this right hand whips around and holds the upper arm, and then the arm comes. You sit back in the pose, navel stays back, spine is long, and then you look over your right shoulder. And then turn your head to look back over your left shoulder whilst trying to bring the left shoulder forwards. And then release. Legs around to the other side. So release the legs. And then very elegantly, left leg around by the right hip. Bending the right leg, bringing it back onto the ankle. Pull the buttock flesh out on that left buttock. Sit tall. Bring the right hand behind. And then stretch the right arm up. And make sure as you stretch the right arm up that you're sitting down into that right buttock. So we're not leaning over it, we're just lengthening the tissues down into that right buttock. Turn the ribs and then drop that right hand down on the outside edge of the left knee. If you wish to bind, then come back, bring the right arm around and hold the top of the arm. Okay, turn the body. And then take the hand on the outside edge of that left knee, sorry. Breathe. Sitting into that right buttock more and more. Lifting the chest, look over your left shoulder. Breath smooth. And then turn the head, bring it back to centre. Open up the chest. Allowing your body, left shoulder moves back, right shoulder moves forwards, body faces forward, head faces forwards.
and then release. Release the arms and release the leg. Legs coming directly forward, spread out through the toes. Open up the soles of the feet more and more, and then bend up your left leg. Stand in that left leg, bring the right hand behind, bring the left hand on the inside edge of the inside edge of the left knee. Open the chest and turn, looking over your right shoulder. Turn more and more so you're feeling both sides of the waist long, and then bring the head to face forwards. You can admire your beautiful fingers, your thumb that it's going straight up, and then exhale, release. Second side, straighten up your left leg, bend up your right leg. Heel stands down, sit tall. Right elbow on the inside edge of the right knee, left hand comes behind, press down with that left hand to get as much length through the spine as possible. Take the left shoulder back, bring the right shoulder forwards, turn the head, look over your right shoulder. Feel the space in the abdomen that you've created, and now bring the head to face forwards, and again looking at the beautiful line of your hand and thumb, following the line of the arm. So even this, we're getting to know our position in space here. Relax the eyes, release the tongue, toes spread, and then release. We're going to do that twist one more time. Okay, so bend up the leg. It's your right leg this time. Okay, sit tall. This should feel really nice, and it should feel that way as well when you go to turn. So the hand comes in. Now, if you wish to bind, you actually need to come forwards more and keep that space. So I'm going to spin around now so that you can see. Okay, like this. So you now got to bring the arm on the inside. Yeah? Turn the thumb down. So you're either here, okay, and you're just going to hold this and be happy with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Have a belt, and have the belt so that it's draped here. Okay, and then you've got two bits of the same loop that you can grab. Okay, sit tall, and then bring your left elbow on the inside edge of that bent up left knee. You extend forwards and you get your armpit as close to the knee as possible, and you stretch the arm forwards, keeping the length through the front of the spine, keeping the length through the side of the waist. Turn the thumb down, wrap the arm around, palm faces out. Right arm, stretch it out, bring it around, and you bind. Palms face out. Okay, if you're finding it hard to hold the hand like this, if you make a fist, it gives you something a bit more solid to hold on to. If you can't reach but you think you're almost there, you find that belt and you start to pull it. Just pull it gently, and you'll find it'll slip out from between your thighs. And you can just open it there, or if you've left it on the floor, you can pick it up from the floor and have it like so. And then release. Okay, let's do the second side. Stretch the left leg forwards, bend up the right leg. Okay, so now the arm comes on the inside, palm is up, hand is behind. So you're trying to create as much space as you possibly can. This is the lift that we want. Not slouching, no slumping. You want to keep that sense of upliftment as you fold forwards on the inside edge of the leg, extend the arm forwards and then bring it around. Wrap it around the front of the shin and take this hand and swoop it around the back and bind. And if you can't bind, you take your belt, you bring it around the back and you hold the belt. Yeah? You open up the chest and you look over your shoulder and you breathe. Don't let your knee go droopy like mine just did. I just clocked it, went to sleep. Keep the kneecap nice and tight on the straight leg. And then exhale, come back to center. Stretch the legs forwards. Kneecaps open, chest broad, shoulder blades deep into the back, Dandasana. Okay? Adha Mukha Svanasana. Dog head down again, legs strong. Kneecaps lifted.
And then exhale, come down, take a rest. Okay, now the next pose we're going to do is halasana and then Shavangasana. So halasana is the plough and Shavangasana is shoulder stand. So you've got your 4 foam pads. What I'll do is I will do a quick demonstration just so that you know what I'm talking about, and then we can go up. Okay, so I've got my blanket. This is coming here, and know that the blanket needs to be neat, so just make sure there's nothing worse than a rucked blanket when you're trying to work out what you're doing in your shoulder stand, because it will give you different feedback completely. So nice and neat, like hospital corners, and then pull that blanket so you've got that nice soft edge across the front edge of the blanket there. Brick I like because it means that you're not faffing around trying to push yourself up. It keeps the pose a little quieter, a little softer. And your belt, so you bring the belt so that it's going to be approximately from armpit to armpit. If you open the chest, about that wide, not just the front edge of the armpit, yeah, that where that bit of skin is, yeah, not right at the back of the armpit, because that will give you a huge amount of belt. If you've got your hair in a top knot, you may have to release it here, because otherwise it might just interfere with the length of your neck. So I've released my hair. Okay, put the belt on one arm, roll the shoulders back, and just check that your shoulders aren't going to roll off your platform. Yeah, so here, if I make a fist, I can still feel that I've got a gap. I've got quite narrow shoulders, so if your shoulders are bigger than mine, you may need to wriggle down just a little bit more. Know that this is shoulder stand, not neck-head balance, all right? You're going to bend the knees, yeah? With an exhale, you roll the feet over the head and you bring the feet towards the floor, if your hamstrings allow. If they don't, what I'd like you to do for now is to just lie down with your legs up the wall, okay? Don't do this one today. Get yourself to a proper teacher who will show you how to do it and take you up into the pose. It's important that you don't turn your head when the weight is on the back of your neck. So if you need to look at anything, you come down and then you look at it. All right? Light on Yoga. Very good book. Got all the instructions in it. Now my fingertips, my toe tips are on the floor. I can put my belt on. I can interlace the fingers and come more onto the tops of the shoulders. So it's like I'm trying to widen my collarbones. Big smiley collarbones trying to touch the floor there. Legs are tight, kneecaps are lifted. Hands come in to support the back. And then one at a time, raise up one leg, raise up the other leg, stretch up, shoulder stand. When you go to come down, yeah, we'll lower one leg and the other leg. Use the hands for support. Lie yourself down. And then you'll take a rest. We'll take the brick, we'll put it underneath our head. Okay, so if I show you that too, so the belt is now off. You come down, lift your head with your hand, wriggle, place the brick underneath the head, palms come out, and you can either have the legs bent like this, or as long as you keep the legs connected, so you keep the feet active, let the legs cross and the chest feels nice and broad and open here. When you go to come up, mounds of the big toes press in, legs squeeze together, and you change across with the legs and you do the same thing again. Okay? Now if you're already up in your shoulder stand, you can stay there if you're happy. If you're not, because you've just stopped and watched all of that, get your props sorted, pause, get your props sorted, then press play. Right, yeah, you're back, excellent. Brick here, sit on it, make sure you've got the distance for your belt correctly, remember it's armpit to armpit, lie yourself down and put the belt onto one arm. Okay. And I hold it with my hand like that, because then I don't need to faff around trying to find it, and I make sure I'm not trapped, or the tail of the belt isn't trapped underneath me or anywhere. Okay, bend the knees over the chest, go over into halasana. Walk the feet away. Tighten the kneecaps. Be on the tips of the toes. Interlace the fingers, stretch the arms away, and roll the deltoids, that fleshy part of the shoulder, down, or think about taking the collarbones broad and down, and move those shoulder blades deep into the back. And hold here. Put your hands to support the back, and get a good lift through the trunk. Keep the legs working. Tips of the toes to the floor, legs strong. We'll just hold this for a minute or so, being right on the very tip of the toe. Relax the eyes, release the tongue, legs firm. I've got a crampy toe. Pressing the shoulders, shoulder blades deep into the back, shoulders down into the mat, back of the neck soft and long. And then raise one leg and then the other up into shoulder stand. Let the hands just gently rest on the back and let the back rest towards the hands. It's not ideal to talk in this pose, so you're going to grip your legs together. Breathe. Roll the thighs from outside in. So I need to let my body move back a little bit so I can keep talking you through it. Stretching up through the legs, kneecaps firm. We'll just hold this for a minute or so. Lifting up through the legs. Pressing the elbows down. Then drop one leg down into halasana. Second leg down into halasana. Remove the belt. Support with the hands. So I like to have my hands, you can have the hands holding your back. As you slowly roll down, hold the hips. Release the back of the neck all the way down, watching out for that brick. Lift the hips up, wriggle off your prop. Put the brick underneath your head so your shoulders are on the platform, and bring the legs to cross legs. Relax the eyes, release the tongue. Fingers are gently curled. And then use your hands to come underneath the thighs, squeeze the legs together, change the cross of the legs, and again allow the legs to release down. Take a nice deep breath up into the chest. Fingers are gently curled, face is soft, gaze is soft, shoulders released. Release the hands, bring them back underneath the thighs. Squeeze the knees together, press the feet to the big toes down towards the floor so the action isn't coming from the lower back, it's coming from the legs. And then just let the knees flop in just for a moment, hands resting on your belly. And then you're going to carefully roll to your side, sit yourself up. Okay. We're going to do Setu Bandha Shavasana next. So you've got your, it said one brick, but actually you're going to need 2 bricks and we need a wall. So I'm not sure, but I might need to move the props, the camera. Sorry, I've got my back to you. I'll come this way round. There you go. It's a little less rude, isn't it, now as this? Yeah, great. I don't need to move anything. So Setu Bandha, we've got some foam pads. Now this is going to come underneath your hips, okay? Now if this is too high, then you can always do it just on 2 foam pads, okay? This is 4 here. If I slide this back a little bit, hopefully you can see a little better. Move it back a little bit further. I've got hair in my mouth. And this is the point where I say if you're doing it against the door, there's a door here, make sure nobody's going to come in if it's an opening door in, or if it's even an opening door out. You don't want anything like that. Okay, now the bricks, my bricks are coming up against the wall here, and my feet are going to rest on them. Just need to make sure. Yeah, you can see those. Right, so the bricks are here, the wall is here, okay? And what I like to do, and this is how I teach the beginners, is I tell them to lie flat, like so, and have your legs bent. There's a bit of fiddling around here, but you've got your legs bent quite a bit, okay? And you take your 2 foam pads and you place them underneath your hips, okay? And you take your chest, you open the chest up, and you just see. Now you should find that when you go to straighten your legs, actually you've got still quite a big bend, so please be watching this before you try, okay? And then you take your next 2 foam pads and you do the same thing again. So you can do 3 pads or you can do 4 pads. So I'm on my balls of my feet, heels are lifted, and I'm coming up again into my Setu Bandha. Now look, the shoulders roll down, and now I feel, can I hold the bricks, pull them in just a little bit, and then can I straighten my legs? So the thighs are now rolling in towards each other, the legs are nice and connected. You can also do this over 2 bolsters. Relax the eyes and release the tongue. Now if that's too much on your back, just bend your legs and hold this. So the abdominal work now is it's a mere memory. What abdominal work? What thigh work? It should feel super nice here. The back of the neck is nice and long. It's all soft, it's released, it feels very nice. I'm going back to having my legs straight against the wall. Spine extending, lengthening, legs firm, eyes sinking deep below the cheeks. Make sure that your t-shirt isn't cutting into your throat, so you might need to adjust your t-shirt, your jumper. And breathe. This should feel super nice. Keep the chest lifted. Keep the breath smooth. Sides of the neck long. Shoulders moving down towards the floor. Lower back long. Legs long. Now, here comes not the best bit, because this is the best bit for this bit, but the next bit's the best bit for the next best bit. If that makes sense. Bend up your legs. Okay, this was the first time where it's just an out of an ordinary experience happened to me. So we'd done Setu Bandha Shavasana, and my teacher, Elizabeth, said, slowly lift up your hips. So I come up onto the balls of the feet, lift up your hips, and take the first brick out. Keep the spine nice and long, and just release onto the 3 bricks. Okay? And then lift up your hips. Same thing, follow that same action. Keep the chest lifted. Release onto the 2 bricks. Breathe. And then the same action again. So lift the heels, lift the hips. Release onto the 1 brick. And then she said, rest here for a little while. So we rested. And we breathed. And I was thinking, wow, I feel amazing. And after a few moments, I started to feel like I was already flat. And I'd forgotten that I had another foam pad underneath me. And then she said, lift up the hips and take away the final foam pad. And so I felt, and there's, oh gosh, I have got one left. So I lifted up my hips. And she said, do it slowly. I removed the foam pad. And I slowly, slowly, slowly lowered myself down. And it felt like my hips were sinking down into a hole in the sand. And I think it was probably my first class that I'd ever done with her. And at this point I knew I'd come home. It was definitely within the first few classes. I felt so comfortable at that point. I felt like a whole weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Lengthen your spine, just bring yourself to a comfortable space and rest your hands on your belly. Take a few breaths here. And then if you have the room and you're in the right place for Shavasana, you can just carefully slide your legs away. But for me, I'm going to have to move. But if you can, just gently wriggle away from the wall just a little bit more. And take yourself into your Shavasana. So I'm going to come a little closer to the camera so that you can hear me. And I'm going to talk you through Shavasana. Right, so when you lie down for your Shavasana, it is important that you lie down with bent legs, okay? So if you happen to have moved yourself about, make sure that you lie down and you lie yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down. In a minute I'll probably disappear out of shot, or you might see just the top of me. Yeah, and you make sure that the back is nice and long. If your back is feeling tired, you can just step the feet out to the side and let the knees flop in, and then you tuck the shoulder blades deep into the back. If your back feels fine, then just quietly slide those legs away and let the feet flop out to the side. And again, you can refer to Light on Yoga for more instructions, and there's Health, Healing and Beyond as well, which is a marvellous book. Shoulder blades deep into the back, fingers gently curled, and breathe. Arms long, legs long, and just compare the left and the right side of the body, that they feel as if they're taking up an equal amount of space on the floor. If one arm feels particularly short, just lengthen it or move it away from the midline just a little bit more. And the same for the legs. Release and relax the eyes deeply. Release and relax the cheeks and soften the temples. And allow the weight of the head to rest back into the floor. Relax across the shoulders and the collarbones. Release down through the arms, left and right, allowing the arms to feel beautifully long. Let the breath feel whole and smooth, taking the breath down to the abdomen. A nice, gentle, releasing abdominal breath. Relax the buttocks, release the lower belly, relax the hips and the thighs. Allow the legs to feel long, hamstrings wide, the calves soft, and release the kneecaps. Release the whole of the leg to the heels, and then the whole of the foot through the sole of the foot to the toes. And then allow yourself to rest back completely, releasing every breath, releasing and relaxing every breath, allowing yourself to let go completely, allowing yourself to release completely, allowing any external noise to wash over. Let yourself release deeply into Shavasana, more and more. Relax the eyes, release the tongue, soften the grips on the face, and aim to stay here for 5 to 10 minutes. Enjoy the sense of release, the sense of relax, and do nothing. Release completely. When you're ready to get up smoothly, carefully, and just allow yourself to come back quietly to a comfortable sitting position. But stay with your Shavasana as long as you possibly can. Thank you.